Welcome to everyone to our webinar Wednesday. My name is Kirstine Stephen and I'm an Assistive Technology and Additional Support Needs teacher here at Call Scotland. Delighted to be joined this afternoon by Wendy Peskett from CAMI. Wendy is a success champion, teacher success champion. She's a Google trainer, she's an ISTE educator and a chartered teacher, so she's very well versed in the needs of both learners and educators in the classroom. Welcome, Wendy. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Good. So today's session is being recorded for the benefit of those who are not able to join us live, have registered, and the recording link will follow today's webinar. I would ask that you please ensure your mics remain muted. If you don't wish to be in the recording, then please just pop your camera off now. If you do wish to have live captions displayed throughout the webinar today, go into your language and speech settings and you can turn that on there. You will be able to view the closed captions on the YouTube recording. Today's webinar will run for approximately 20 minutes and then there will be an opportunity to ask Wendy any questions. If you do have questions as we go today, please just pop them into the chat and we'll facilitate that at the end. So I will pass on to Wendy now. Thanks, Wendy.
Thank you very much. As I said, I'm Wendy Peskett and I'm CAMI's teacher and learning coordinator. So I'm here really just to support all teachers to use it better. I'm not a person that has loads of slides. I've got one slide I'm going to show you. CAMI is all about accessibility and inclusive learning for all. And the way it does that is by focusing on students' strengths, not their deficits. So it allows students to demonstrate their understanding in alternate ways. And it also gives students discrete accommodations. But it wasn't always like this. If you knew CAMI of old, if you knew CAMI before lockdown, you would have probably thought it was just a PDF annotator, just being able to put text boxes over documents. But I'm hoping with this demo, I'll show you that it also gives you a lot more. What I won't focus on today at all is the tight link we have with Google Classroom on Microsoft. We do have a brilliant integration there, but that's not going to be the focus of today's session. It's about the tools we have. So just very easily, the first thing I want to show you is this is my Google Drive, and it's so easy to get stuff into CAMI. I just click on it and then I have open with, annotate with CAMI, and straight away I've got access to that same document that was in my drive, and it didn't really matter what it started as. It could be Adobe, Microsoft or Google, really doesn't matter. What it is now is a CAMI document, and it's got 40 tools on the side here. Now, what's great about that is when I share it out as a teacher, I can decide to do exactly what I would do normally with students. I can have them viewing it, editing it, or create an individual copy that they have of their own. But one of the great features we've got is this feature control, and this is special because what this allows me to do is turn off, because the first thing we understand is it's great to have 40 tools. They are brilliant, but it can be overwhelming for some students. So what we want to be able to do is put the tools on that the students need for that activity. So I can put the read aloud on, I can put the comments on, I can I lead the translation and take a couple of them off. And I can also take off copy and paste and spell check and add pages. So I can really focus students and stop them bringing stuff off the internet as well. And as soon as I click confirm, when I give this link to the students, they will see this same document, but that toolbox would have been reduced, not just grayed out, the things just simply disappear. And it's instant. I can go back in at any point through that activity and change that. So that's one of the really good things I wanted to mention. The second thing about not overwhelming students is when I collaborate on documents. If I collaborate on a document with students, the biggest thing they normally do is delete each other's work. Now, what CAMI doesn't allow is for anybody to touch anybody's contributions that are not theirs. So the teacher can delete everybody's work, but the student can only move and delete their own contributions. So again, focusing the student so they've got less distraction. Now, I'm going to close that one down and come back into another document, just trying to show a couple of different things here today. I'm going to focus on our brand new tools. Our brand new tools in CAMI are the Understand tools, and these are just a few weeks old. But what we've got here are a dictionary, as you'd expect, but we've also got the picture dictionary. So if I just click on the picture dictionary and adjust it, it should give me a picture dictionary coming up. Hopefully it'll come in. There we go. I've got insect there. So a nice little accommodation that's just been added to CAMI. But we've also got all of these special ones too. So we've got Translate. So we understand that SEN and AEL really don't just become separate things. Sometimes you've got a student with special educational needs, but they're also in additional language as well. So what our Translate allows it to do is for a student to just select a piece of text and they can say which language they'd like it translated into. And there's nearly 200 languages there on offer for students. And this is a high quality translation. What's coming soon as well is that hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll also have a re-level button here. So students can actually re-level the text at the same time. Now, I'll show you what that looks like on its own at the moment, and it's under our adjust tool. So our adjust tool says to a student, okay, you can read English, but the level of the language in this is too difficult for you. So I'll look at this piece, observe and use research as necessary. The student can say, well, I think I can read most of that, but it's a little bit difficult. So I'll just adjust it. And now it's got much simpler language for the student. But it doesn't only take text down, it can also take it to a higher level as well. So this could be a student that's working at a higher level or reading at a higher level and really wants to challenge themselves with vocabulary. So what I'm hoping you're seeing with these tools is that these are not tools that are saving teachers time by saying, oh, we'll produce another lesson plan, or we'll translate that whole document for you. What language do you want it in? And then you can give it to your students. It's not about that. It's about giving students increased independence, empowering them to perform the tasks that they want to do when they need to do it. So if a student has a worksheet that they're trying to access, they use the tools, they make the accommodations for themselves, they become better digital citizens. Okay, that's a couple of the tools I've shown. I'm speaking quickly, so I've got a lot to show. We also have an explain tool, and an explain tool will explain text, but it'll explain it in a more chatty way. But I'm going to show it on an image because actually that's my favourite part. So if I draw over this image, I'm a student that hasn't remembered what this image is. I'll put it back to UK English, and you'll start to see that it'll explain what it's showing on the screen. So it's showing, let's break down each stage for you, the egg mass, the tadpole, and it will go through and explain it. And I can explain it straight away in all of these languages. So even languages like Afrikaans, we do have Scottish, Welsh, Irish as well on there. So hopefully there's a language there for most people to use. And at the bottom of these, you can also have them read aloud. It's something I didn't show earlier. Let me translate a little bit again and do that to show you. So if I translate or re-level, notice I can have the read aloud here in that language in a natural voice for my students. But what they can also do is pop the comment on the side so that when they're reading the re-leveled text or the translated text, they can actually work on both of the pieces of text, the original and the bit that's making the accommodations for them. That's something I really love. It doesn't make a new document. Okay, that's a couple of our tools. I also mentioned about focusing on strengths. So that would come in the way that students can give their answers. So there's loads of things we can do here. In its simplest form, we can make a text box and a student can just type. Okay, they can do that, but they can also use the speech to text and they should be able to just type with their voice. So I've managed to do that. Excellent. I'm deleting stuff as I go along. And we've also got the comment tools, and these are lovely. So a text comment, you might have seen this in Google or Word. I can just type here. So nice and easy, but I can also do that with the voice typing too. So this can be used both by students or by teachers. Teachers love to give instructions and feedback in this way. It's pretty accurate as well, so you can see that. Other students might prefer to do something different. They might prefer to use their voice comments. So this time they can just speak naturally. So a teacher can speak to their students. Students love to hear from their teachers, especially in their voices. And the students might want to talk back to the students. They might want to give their information that way. Now, just because a student wants to give that information in that way doesn't mean the teacher really wants to receive it in that way. Because sometimes I know what teachers are like. They mark on the train and they might not have their headphones. They might be in a noisy environment and they don't want to listen to all these student contributions. So what they can do then is they can turn on the captions and it'll take a few seconds and they can play it and it will just turn the volume down and they can just read the caption so they can get the information from the student in the way they prefer, but the student's given it in a way way they prefer. We've also got the same with a video comment. When you click on video comments, you can use it for students to perform. They can give poetry recitals. They can have job interviews, any way that you want to capture video on the screen. But also we've got a number of schools for the deaf that are using it so that the teachers can sign to their students and students can sign back, and the videos are captured and left on the side of the screen. So if I record that here, you can see me with my sheet in the background, but it's actually now recording me on the screen. And in the same way, we have the screen capture, which is a lovely tool which allows a teacher to record themselves and the screen. So if I want to come in here, I'll turn my camera off, but I can come in here and talk to the students and explain something, and I might want to write on it, I might want to put some typing on it, I might want to just carry on talking to my students in a different way. There we go. And all of that is being captured on screen. So as soon as I then have finished with it, there we go, I can delete all of the things that I've put on the screen to take away the distractions again, but the students have got a video here that they can watch back to watch that as many times as they need. So there are a few of our things we can use. And you can see any type of document here really can be used with Kami. You can put your text boxes on, you can add things on the side, you can draw on it. So all of these sorts of things can be used by the students in a way that can be supported as well. And then we have a whole lot of other tools. So we do things like speech to text, text to speech. We've got the read aloud. We've got markup tools. So some students like to use just simple tools to mark up their text, and they can do that in many colours. So depending on how you want to use the tools, you can support students in many different ways. So I'm going to stop there with Kami. Kami is for working on worksheets. We've got so much more than I've shown you, but that's as much time as I've got to give you just at this moment. I'm going to go on to our second product, which is Kami Companion. So I wanted to leave time for that as well. So think about this one. This is Kami. This is for documents. The second thing we've got is, let me just find my document. Bear with me. Here we go. So what we've got on here, I've got the bar on here as well. This is Kami Companion, this floating toolbar. I can move it around, put it wherever I want. So the difference between this and Kami is for working on worksheets, okay, for all your documents, the things that you want to give students, the activities. And Kami Companion are a similar set of tools, but to support students for getting access from the internet. So what you're looking at here is a web page that I've found about science, and I might be a student trying to access the information off here, but I'm struggling a little bit. So we've got things in our settings that make this a bit easier. So we've got things like our appearance. We can have dark mode or light mode. We can make the size much bigger if the student needs that. We can take it up to 3 times, and you'll start to see the way this looks different then. The tool can look different to students. But then I'll just whiz you quickly through some of the tools, and you'll have seen some of these already. So we have the read aloud, so I can choose to have any part of the screen read to me. So you saw that in the other tool as well in Kami. I can stop reading aloud, I can start, I can choose lots of voices. Again, all of our voices are natural voices. Over the summer we removed all of those really clunky voices that we had, and again there are many languages in there. We've got hundreds, so most languages are supported in there, so that's amazing. We've also got the picture dictionary and the dictionary in here. So you'll see both of those in here. So I should be able to highlight the word particles. Hopefully that will give me something. Taking a little second or two. There we go. And it's showing me one of the images that it's given. And it'll also give me the translate as well. So if I can do a single word or I can do a whole section. So again, that's gone into Scots Gaelic. That must have been what I was looking at last time. Hopefully, if you speak Scotch Gaelic, you can see that that's actually correct. It's a high level translation. It's not just your standard Google translation. So hopefully you're seeing a good quality there. And again, I can go in and I can choose all of those languages in there. So any of the languages you saw earlier are all supported in here. There's nearly 200. We've also got the adjust on here as well. So remember you saw that earlier, the adjust is here. So it's now saying no space between the particles and it's making it a little bit easier. So I'm not sure how easy that one sentence can get. No room between the small bits. Okay, that's pretty easy. So it's taking it down. And then we've got some extra features that you'd expect on here. So what we've got are things like predictive text and voice typing. So this doesn't just work on web pages. This works on your on your Google documents as well, because they are actually web pages. So you'll be able to voice type straight on there. You'll also be able to have the predictive text on those documents. And then a couple more of the tools we've got, things like the reading assist with the reading ruler. And what's lovely about our reading ruler compared to some of the ones that are already on the market is that if there's an image on the page and it's an embedded image, it will actually go across the image as well, whereas some of our competitors' tools actually stop and they only look either side of the images. Ours goes across the whole page, and you can see that right from left to right, it's there. So that's our reading ruler. We've also got screen masking, so that gives you another way of supporting your students. And then I've finally come on to the last one, which is the immersive reader. So if you're a Microsoft user, you will be used to using the immersive reader. And we know it's an impressive tool, but that's really been locked out for Google users. And most of our customers at the moment are Google users in the UK. We've got a number of Microsoft users too, but this gives all of our users the immersive reader as well. So if I just switch off the screen masking, click on the immersive reader, ooh, okay, that decided to stop. Okay, not a great show of the immersive reader there. I'm going to pretend that didn't happen. But it does usually open the immersive reader. It did earlier, trust me. They must be working on it. It's just come out of beta. But I'm hoping I've given you a look at both of our tools. I think I've kept into the 20 minutes. I may have 1 minute left. Cami Companion for websites, Cami for your worksheets. I think I'm handing back.
Well done, Wendy. That was
Two tools.
that was a whistle-stop tour, and you did very
Very.
well in the time you had. So thank you very much for that.
And the very last one decided to let me down.
Oh, it's always the way. And I was doing some training yesterday and exactly the same thing. I tested it before people came into the room and then I went to show it and it didn't work. So if anyone has any questions, please pop them into the chat. And while people are digesting what you shared there, I've got a couple of questions if that's okay.
That's fine.
The first one is around the text to speech and all those natural voices. Is there any plans for any Scottish voices?
So we've got the one that you saw on there, so that
Hmm.
will actually translate. We
So
haven't
you've
got the
got the Gaelic,
we haven't
yeah.
yeah, we haven't got the voice yet. Not
No,
for want to try, and we are actually trying to source that. It's
yeah,
something we know is very important and we're looking for it. Um uh I've been pushing very hard to get Ireland, Wales and Scotland
hmm.
supported on here.
Great.
I think we've got some of them, but not all of them yet. Scotland, we're still trying to source
S-
a natural sounding
A
voice.
natural, yeah, I know that's the difficulty. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And what about exam mode? Is there any, because that's something that comes up quite a lot about,
Yeah, it's
because it's
something
awful
that's
difficult to.
requested. Yeah, something that's requested. We've got a number of customers that are using third-party tools at the moment for their exam accommodations.
Hmm.
Obviously, this tool, once it's able to be locked down, will be perfect for exams. It's now on the roadmap, so Cami developers have got it on their roadmap. It will come. It's just a matter of time now for them to finish developing it.
Great.
So it
That's
is on the
really,
roadmap.
really good to hear. And my final question is around I use a masking tool and reading ruler with a lot of the learners that I work with. Is there any way to personalize that in terms of colors?
Oh. Not at the moment, but that is something I will push back. So the
Okay.
way, yeah, reading rulers, no, at the moment.
Okay. Right.
In Cami, the way we use the reading, let me just see if I can uh, what we've got in Cami that we use for some of our students is we would use the markup tool
Mm-hmm.
for highlighting blocks of text. So if I go in and choose like a really light color that a student might find is useful, a lot of students use it like this to mask the text so they can read it easier off screen. But we haven't
Okay.
got that built in yet. That's sort of a bit of a hack there,
Right.
but not on the reading rulers. That's interesting. I hadn't even considered that. So I will
Okay.
definitely push that back.
Right. Okay. Great. Well, I think throughout today, you've obviously answered everybody else's questions. I suppose people might be wondering if there's any option for a trial maybe of Cami if they've not trialed it out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, Cami, there is a free version of Cami
Mm-hmm.
that will allow you to do things like open a document and put the text boxes on. So for basic worksheets, and it gives you our split and merge tool, which I haven't mentioned today, which allows you to pull apart PDFs really easily and repurpose them, take pages out, mix them with other PDFs. That's all free. But obviously, this is what I've shown you are the paid things today. That all the accessibility stuff is under a paid license, but we do give a really good free trial. And we are happy to do that for anybody that contacts us. That can either be just for themselves or we can put it out for a school domain to try it. And we will give them plenty of time to make sure they get to use it. They get free training with that trial as well from me. And just at the end of it, it's a case of then looking at did it work for your needs? Pretty much people tend to like it once they have it on trial because it's got so much on it that I haven't even shown you. I've only sort of done the tip of the iceberg today. But yeah, please reach out if you would like a free trial. We'd love to get this in your hands.
Right. Do you have a slide with your contact details, or do you want to pop
I,
pop
I
your email
actually
address?
haven't. Yeah, I didn't.
Do you want
Sorry.
to?
Let me
No, that's all
just
right.
grab that bit lost in my. There we go. So I'm bringing
Oh, you've been
the
busy.
chat
You've
up.
just come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, didn't think to put that on. There was the chat. Let me just pop it in here. I know it's on screen at the moment. Wendy.Peskett at camiapp.com. That's me. So yeah, please get in touch. And then we'll set up a free trial and also make sure that you get full support. That's my job to do that.
That's brilliant. So, for the benefit of anybody who's joining us in the recording, Wendy's email address is wendy.peskett, that's Peskett at camiapp.com. That's fabulous. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Wendy. Thank you to those that joined us live today. And we are back same time next week. We are going to be joined by Ivy Notes, looking at note taking and how that can support our dyslexic learners. So that'll be another good one next week. So 4 o'clock next Wednesday. Oh, um, great. Somebody just saying they're excited to learn about the enhanced features from Cami. So that's
Excellent.
really good. And they're hoping to get a subscription to trial.
Please just
Brilliant.
email me or message you tomorrow, and get it all set up for you. It's a great tool.
Just wait and see